Hello and welcome to the Gold and Silver Club end of week review presented by myself, Phil Carr and Nick Kelsey at the Gold and Silver Club. Today we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets and analysing the week's performance. This live session today will cover live market commentary and technical analysis. We'll also be looking at the week ahead, so key events looking forward, and of course we'll be answering any questions you may have as well. So this week, gold falls to 9-month lows on the FOMC statement, the most anticipated economic event of the month. The September FOMC statement once again presented traders with a number of highly lucrative opportunities across the financial markets. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve renewed its pledge to keep interest rates near zero for considerable time, but also indicated it could raise borrowing costs faster than expected when it starts moving. The Fed also released its latest summary of economic projections, showing expectations for rates over the long run are higher than they were in June. This was viewed as bullish for the US dollar and bearish for gold. Following the FOMC statement, the precious metal fell to a 9-month low of $1,215 an ounce, presenting commodity traders with a profitable trading opportunity to sell short gold against the US dollar. In other precious metals, platinum continued to attract attention as a slump in South African mining production is likely to benefit prices in the mid to long term. Platinum demand is expected to increase significantly during the final quarter of 2014, whilst production is struggling to keep up. South African platinum production stood at 447,000 ounces in July, which is down 45% on the same month of last year. July was the first full month of production since December 2013, when mine workers began a 5-month strike in protest of wage increases. Elsewhere in the commodities markets, grains tumbled to the lowest level since 2010 on oversupply concerns, and corn was last seen trading at $3.37 a bushel, whilst wheat touched $4.84 a bushel, as highlighted on our top trades of the week, which we shall take a look at very shortly. Before we go into technical analysis, I'm Phil Carr, professional trader, trainer and speaker. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. I specialize in teaching people how to make money from trading the most lucrative financial markets in the world. So gold, silver, oil, natural gas, the agricultural commodities. I have trained thousands of individuals to become independent traders and successfully manage their own investment portfolio. Also responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies that have a proven track record of generating returns for traders, and a regular contributor to a number of financial publications, speaking at numerous trading seminars, webinars and workshops. Joining me in running the Gold and Silver Club is Nick Kelsey, professional trader, investment analyst and speaker. Nick began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before making the transition into proprietary trading, and prior to co-founding the Gold and Silver Club, spent several years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top tier hedge funds and investment banks. And through his first-hand relationship with some of the world's most successful traders, discovered the formula, mindset and tools that can give any individual the definitive edge to trade in any economy. Also regularly writes for a number of global business and financial publications. We've appeared frequently on financial television. So we shall just take a look at the gold price right now, currently trading at $1,221 an ounce and 95 cents. So we'll look at the technicals very shortly. The top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies have been as followed. We had a lovely breakout to the upside earlier on this week on natural gas. We had a buy opportunity here for 150 points profit. The risk on the trade 75 points for 150 point profit for a lovely 2-to-1. Also had some lovely sell shorts this week on the grains here. So wheat, we had a risk on the trade of 50 points, a profit of 160 points, so a 3-to-1. And in fact, wheat continues to break down just this morning as well. So does corn, which we'll take a look at very shortly. And we've also had some lovely opportunities for breakout this week on WTI crude oil. The risk on the trade 100 points for a profit of 210 points. So $2,100 profit for $1,000 risk for a lovely 2-to-1 on WTI crude oil. So what we'll do now, we'll just turn our attention to the live markets, and let me bring on first market we'll take a look at is wheat. So wheat, we've been looking at for the last couple of weeks now, really, once we broke through this major support zone of 517. So we continue to consolidate with wheat for the best part of about 6 weeks, from mid-July up until the beginning of September. At the beginning of September, we did break through this support zone, which we've been discussing on previous sessions of 517. We've now thoroughly broken that support zone, and there's been a lot of sell short opportunities for day trades now. You can see since we broke support, we're about 350 points down now, and we're continuing really to sell off. You can see we've actually broken through a major level of support again just this morning. We're really looking to come down to the next key level here at 474. Okay, so $4.74 a bushel. So that's the next key zone that we're looking to come down to on wheat now. But you can see it's just breaking down, breaking below yesterday's lows here, and just continuing with this overall trend since we broke major support. Very similar situation with corn. Corn broke major support zones recently. You can see there's a very clear downward trending channel on the corn market, which we are following, and we've also just yesterday we broke through the weekly lows here, and we're continuing just this morning to come down and break low, and we're looking for a move back down to the lower end of the trend channel here. So we're looking to come down, certainly get a retest of $3.29 a bushel here, 329, and possibly just come down all the way to the lower end of this trend channel here. Okay, on the core market, we're just looking for further downside. If we move over to the natural gas, we had natural gas storage inventories yesterday, which provided us with a sell short opportunity, which we're still in at the moment. Trade's about 70 points up right now. You can see we've had some good opportunities just to trade as the market is ricocheting between support and resistance. A very clear trend channel here that the market is finding support at, and we've got a clear resistance channel above, which is providing some sell short opportunities. And on the natural gas storage inventories last week, the last 3 weeks worth of inventories have been bearish. So we've got, this is last week's inventories, the pullback that we've got, and we also got exactly the same situation yesterday. So we expect possibly some additional downside today until we come back down to around the 3.861 support zone, possibly even a retest of this trend line below as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on our trade here on natural gas. If we move over to gold, of course, being in the limelight this week, we had a nice sell short opportunity off the FOMC announcement. You can see if we go back to as far as 2005 here, that major trend line has been broken. So we're currently sitting at $1,222 an ounce. We have broken through a major trend line here. Silver only 24 cents away from breaking 4-year lows at the moment. So you can see gold here following a very strong trend channel as well, very much a downward trending channel. We did get some profit taking yesterday after the market on FOMC came down to test $1,215 an ounce. You can see they've formed a hammer on the daily. Today we had a slight retracement. Again, the lows of the day came down to 12.18. Gold is finding a little bit of support around this zone, but we may get a retest of the resistance channel and see further sell opportunities as we go into next week. The US dollar is coming back again strong today. You can see here we did get a pullback yesterday, which gave a little bit of a lift to the metals, but again, the strong trend channel we've got in the US dollar index is remaining intact, and particularly if we get a break above yesterday's highs here, above the 84, 88 level, we could certainly see more pressure on the metals. If we take a look at silver, you can, if we just zoom out, you can have a look here. You can see if silver is to break through the $18.15 and $18.20 an ounce zone, actually this will be breaking through a major level of support. So you can see this is a 4-year support zone, which was last supported just going back to August last year. So if we do break lower here, we could really start to run some stop losses and get a really decent move lower here. If we can break through the 1820 zone, we should see gold also follow suit. Other markets you need to keep an eye on at the moment is platinum. Platinum continuing to break down. We do have some support around the current levels at 1,338 US dollars an ounce. The next major support here, we've got 2 levels, would be around the 1300 zone below, and below that we'd be looking for potential retest of 1291 before we see possibly higher prices here. But very similar situation across the metals complex. Most of the metals have been relatively weak this week with a strong US dollar. Palladium also pull back significantly from its very strong upward trending channel. We broke through this trend channel about 2 weeks ago. You can see the market at the moment getting a little bit of support, but nothing technical really, around $18 an ounce. A couple of times we've tested that level. We'll see whether this whole zone holds at the moment, or whether we break down to the next major support at the 805 or 800 psychological support zone. That's the next key level to look at for palladium at the moment. If we move over to the energies here, we can have a look at Brent crude oil following a very strong downward trending channel. There's been some good opportunities to trade sell shorts in line with the overall downward trend. Had another sell here earlier on this week, which has come down and it's delivered circa around 100 points here. We're just moving over to light sweet crude oil now. If we have a look at WTI crude oil, you can see a similar situation. There has been weakness, certainly over the last 24 hours. You just sold off here and given back the gains. We've got a couple of hammers here just based off of a very key support zone at 90.50 on light sweet crude oil. You can see a breakout to the upside, which we've then just fully retraced now. And there's a little hammer forming on the daily at the moment. So you can see a base is trying to be formed at the moment within light sweet crude oil. The major level for light sweet crude oil to come up and take out here now is the 96 level. So you can see if the market can come back up and have another test at that level, we could get a decent breakout. Otherwise, for the time being, we are just remaining within a downward trending channel, which is not really having a satisfactory break to the upside at the moment. So the energies overall still remain bearish for the time being. So both Brent and WTI following their downward trending channels, and both still in a sell signal overall on the larger timeframes here. Okay, well, very shortly we'll just go over to the major news coming up. Just a quick recap there. So the best real trades that are setting up at the moment that we're looking at are the softs here, where we've got a shorts on wheat. You can see we've got shorts on corn here as well, which is selling off. Natural gas is continuing to break down from yesterday's trade on the natural gas storage inventories here too. Gold is going to be one to watch as we go into next week. We've had some nice trade opportunities on gold. We want to see next week if we can take out the support zone here, which is going to be taking out the daily lows of 12.15. Very similar situation with silver. Silver, we want to see whether it can come down and take out its 4-year low at circa 18.22, $18 an ounce and 22 cents. We could get a very volatile move if it does break down lower, and we'll be keeping an eye on the US dollar index today for possible strength this afternoon, which will put some pressure again on the metals. Okay, fantastic. So what we'll do, we'll just have a look and see what major news announcements we have coming up in the following week, which are going to be very tradable for the commodities. Okay, so first of all, we have in the week ahead, key events looking forward on Monday the 22nd of September at 3 o'clock BST, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We have the US existing home sales. So existing home sales measure the change in the annualized number of existing residential buildings that were sold during the previous month. This report helps to gauge the strength of the US housing market. It is a key indicator of overall economic strength. So a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. On Tuesday, the 23rd of September at 2:45 p.m. BST, 9:45 Eastern Time, we have the US manufacturing PMI. So the manufacturing purchases managing index, PMI, measures the activity level of purchasing managers in the manufacturing sector. A reading above 50 indicates expansion in the sector. Below 50 indicates contraction. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. Next Wednesday, the 24th of September at 3:30 p.m. BST, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the US crude oil inventories. That data reports the number of barrels of crude oil commercial firms have in their inventory. That's a very tradable announcement for the crude oil market. Commercial firms, of course, report their inventory levels to the Energy Information Administration on a weekly basis. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bearish for crude oil prices, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bullish. And then as we go into next week on Thursday, the 25th of September at 1:30 p.m. BST and 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we have US core durable goods. So those core durable goods order, they measure the change in the total value of new orders for long-lasting manufactured goods, so essentially excluding transportation items. A higher reading indicates increased manufacturing activity. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. And then Thursday, the 25th of September at 1:30 p.m. BST, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the US initial jobless claims. That data measures the number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week. It's the earliest US economic data. Week-to-week numbers can be volatile. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. And then Thursday, the 25th of September at 3:30 p.m. BST, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the US natural gas storage report. So the Energy Information Administration, the EIA natural gas storage report, measures the change in the number of cubic feet of natural gas held in underground storage during the past week. So that is a great tradable announcement every single week for natural gas. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bearish for natural gas prices, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bullish. Of course, all of the announcements which affect the US dollar will have an impact on gold and silver and the US dollar index as we go into next week. Those are the major news announcements which will, of course, have an effect. And if, of course, you would like to take your trading to the next level, you'd like to learn how to trade commodities with the Gold and Silver Club, courses are available at our international training centers and online. You can request information on the Gold and Silver Club coaching programs and live training room. Very simply, go to www.jointhegoldensilverclub.com. You can contact us at our London, New York, Johannesburg, or Budapest, or our Hong Kong offices. And also make sure you subscribe to our newsletter at www.thegoldensilverclub.com. You will receive free weekly reports on the precious metals, energies and agriculture, as well as live market analysis and prices. Okay, so do make sure you go over to our website and subscribe to the newsletter. Okay, fantastic. So that is it for today's session, everyone. If you do have any additional questions, do just send us an email or give us a call directly. I'll leave the details on the screen. Have a great day's trading. We'll, of course, see you on the next one. Have a great weekend, everyone. Cheers. Bye-bye.